Hello world. Oh,
Sorry, hi world.
I am back with some awesome friends to talk about where the state of the world is right now. Considering all the Teresa, Mike. Yeah. Hi. So basically, I just wanted to ask you guys where you see we are right now and where we're going and what changes need to be made and what is it, all the amazing and sometimes challenging changes mean for us spiritually, and just, this is some big questions, so whatever.
Yeah, they're big questions, and we were talking a little earlier about the fact that Mars and Uranus are in a square right now. So that's bringing up old issues. They're deep-seated. Pluto is always something we've hidden from ourselves or below the surface. Come on, that's Hades, that's the underworld. So anything there that we have buried in the subconscious, Uranus is now forcing us, basically, because it's a square, so he's putting a lot of stress on us to eliminate those things, to change the pattern, to change the way we've done things over this lifetime or maybe even other lifetimes. So we all have the opportunity to do that. When we experience these things globally, it's our opportunity to step up and actually do the work, to go in and clean out those things that no longer work. And they'll all be right there in our face because Uranus isn't going to let us get away with it. You know, we can't slide when this one comes around, no skating. We're going to have to plow our way through, and that's what I've been feeling for the last, I've got a lot of stuff going on astrologically for myself, and I felt very restricted, and I'm sure a lot of people are feeling very restricted. Things aren't growing in the way they want them to. They have to fight for every little bit they have. And so this is all positive and beneficial because the rewards are going to be far greater than you can even imagine going through the battle or going through the process. It's going to bring it to us. Everybody has the opportunity for the spiritual transformation where we can get more in line with, we've cleaned the karma. That's what we're supposed to be doing now with the Pluto-Uranus stuff. We're cleaning out the karma. We're cleaning up all the little piles of poop we left around in previous existences. It's like, oh, there's that poop again. I'm going to clean it up. So we're cleaning all of that up. And now we can actually get on to our individual soul's purpose as well as the group that we have incarnated into. We incarnate in groups. So it's the whole group dynamics that not only do I individually have to do my part, but I have to work within the group so that we can all do our parts. And we kind of, and that can be some opposition there. There can be some people in the group you don't want to work with. You're just like, that guy, I can't get it over. He's an idiot. But they're not. They just have a different view than you do. And you have to be the bigger person and find the way to work within those boundaries or those, constraints with that person. Some people are really impossible, and the universe will ultimately, if they're not stepping up, they'll end up falling away. But right now, we're to get out there, cooperate, and do our best to make it work.
Teresa, how does that, in your opinion, then how does that translate to politically and how the politics of the day are affecting, the social, our social progress that we should be making?
Yes, here in the United States, obviously they're
that's what I'm talking about.
They're totally they want their way and only their way, and it's kind of on both sides. It's not just one party or the other. It's where they're not finding any common ground, and if we do find common ground, they say, nope, that wasn't common ground. Or that's what it seems to be.
It was 2 years ago, but we're negating that now.
Yes, but now we don't want that. So you'll encounter a lot of that, and this is a good mirror for everyone to look in and recognize where you did want this originally, and now you can't stand the person you're working with, so you don't want it anymore. That's it's almost that basic. So that's what's going on in our United States political party right now, parties. The beauty is, with the Pluto-Uranus square, it has to change. It's going to a breaking point. If it doesn't change, they're going to get hurt as well. Now, everybody's paying the price. They're going to pay a very big price if they don't start working together. And they don't get past their personal agendas, whatever that is. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good.
That was an awesome question. Awesome answer.
Okay, good. Yes.
Well, there's just so much. There's so much socially going on right now that's affected by the politics of the
Absolutely.
country.
Come on, they're taking voting rights
The minimum
away.
wage.
Minimum wage, yes. They don't want to pay people for their day's labor.
Exactly.
And that's ridiculous. We all deserve a living wage. And that's where our unions have come in, and that now everybody's trying to bust them. But really, you guys, without unions,
They've been trying to bust unions forever.
Yes, but we wouldn't have a weekend off if it wasn't for unions. We wouldn't have an 8-hour workday.
That's right.
We wouldn't have all of these things in place that protect us and safeguard us
That's right.
from slave labor, literally. And that's that's what we're trying to go past. This whole nation, unfortunately, violently got rid of slavery rather than peacefully getting rid of slavery. And so that violence is coming back to haunt us in other ways.
Well, then,
we're playing it out
then when you start talking about race, that's all just fear. It's all fear-based.
Well, yes, and if we would really and truly look at, okay, I know not everyone believes in, oh, come on, I just said it. Reincarnation. Not everyone believes in that. But honestly, that's really what's happening, is the people that were oppressed are now in power, and the people that were in power are now being oppressed, so that the balance is returned. But these are all opportunities for us all to let go of those prejudices, whether it's in race, whether it's in the ideology of you're taking more than I have to give, those type of things. Those ideologies, there's nothing wrong with that, but we have to find a way to work through that for the common purpose of the good of the individual within the group or the whole.
So hopefully you're learning your lessons.
Yes, it's time. We're 2,000 years behind, you guys. It's time for us to get this message. We are 2,000 years behind in our growth because of these things. Because we keep playing out the same battles over and over and over again. And that's not to be depressing, you guys. That's to inspire. Recognize the battles that you've gone through over and over, and recognize what you're not learning from that process. This is your perfect opportunity to recognize how you're holding yourself back, and possibly the people around you back.
However, in the whole scheme of things, 2,000 years really is not much.
No, it's a blink of an eye, but still it's 2,000 years behind. We're a blink behind.
I understand. We're running late.
We're running late. Come on, let's catch up. Let's get there.
Okay, I agree.
Yes.
I
Yes, 2,000 years really isn't anything in the life cycle of the universe. For goodness sakes, it's nothing. But it's our reality. We're here now. Let's do something about it. Let's utilize that which is available, even if it's stressful. And remember, I don't know if I've said this before, but human beings are lazy. And without our stressful aspects, nothing would get done. I will attest to that. So without the stresses, I wouldn't get out of bed. So these are good opportunities to use that stress as the motivator to get the job done.
And astrologically, that's the squares, right?
That's the squares and the oppositions too, because how are we going to find the medium ground? How are we going to get into the middle of what you want and what I want? How are we going to create that or cohesively come to a common goal with those two opposing forces?
That's fascinating that we have Mars right now in Libra opposite Aries in this square with Pluto.
Yes.
Whoa.
So
how do you see that?
Violence. Mars square Pluto. Violence. Of opposition. Okay, we're gonna fight. We don't have to. We can put our minds to the intellectual fight, or the intellectualizing it to where we can find who's going to win in this battle. No one. So we're going to have to come to some kind of middle ground with Mars action, Pluto subconscious, and getting those things. Aries is all about charging bravely in, but do we have a long-term plan? He's great at starting things, but is he going to complete it? Is Aries going to complete that which he has put into motion?
My goodness, I have that in my natal chart.
Yes, you do.
I
And it's
have to deal with that all my
activated
life.
every month by the moon. That's how much fun that is. His opposition square. He's got one. Yes, it's a grand square, grand cross. And it's one of those ones that it's activated by the moon because the moon's involved. So every month, Michael goes through this stress within himself in order to better himself and get himself moving in the right direction. But you can also stifle yourself. You've recognized where you stifle yourself and you get angry because it's not going the way you think it should go. When really, if it's not going the way you think it should go, you need to reassess that which you've set in motion. And we all need to do that.
I've learned through hard lessons.
Yes, and that's why you put that in your chart in the first place.
Sure.
So that you would learn and you would be in a continual state of learning. Yeah. Yes. We're all here to learn with our higher selves.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a master of this energy then, because the entire world is experiencing this square. Like, I feel it. I went to Walmart just to get some stuff, and I'm like, whoa, the energy's here. I was a little high. But the energies of it, we're just like, wow, there's a lot of like desperation and restriction.
Yes, there's restriction.
But there's power too, that Uranus and Aries of just like, go forward.
Yes, they work through this, and they have no idea how.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Like,
I don't know if Walmart's the best place to judge that, though.
Sure it is, because that's where everybody goes these days.
Okay.
Well, come on, that was his dream.
Fair enough.
That our business isn't here. That whatever he offers is what we go for. He's put a lot of people out of business. But in our area, he's working with the Native Americans, so actually it's benefiting. Yeah, the Walmart over on 2nd and right next to the
It's on tribal land.
That's on tribal
land.
Wow. So that's all.
That's why it's called that's why it's called the three nations. If you read the sign, it says three nations.
Walmart, yeah.
The Paiute, Shoshone, and
we know them.
Yeah.
Are there slot machines inside?
No. No slot machines inside. No, just what's the third nation? I know, it slipped my mind. We know you're out there. We love you.
I know.
Cherokee?
No.
No. Paiute, Shoshone, and It'll come. We'll think about it when the video's over. And we'll update you. That'll be an update.
It's the 3 tribes that are in the area.
That's right, that are in the northern Nevada area.
I know it, but
Northern California, northern Nevada.
It's just little brain gel.
Oh,
right
brain
now.
gel, total brain gel. That's what happens when we get everything squaring and going crazy. You do get brain gel. And I personally have Saturn involved in all of this, so that's even more restriction than most people are feeling. And if I can work through it, anybody can.
I don't have it within this.
Oh yeah, every single human being has the spark. Are you gonna let it become the flame that it's to be, or are you just gonna leave it a little spark and blame the world because you didn't have the opportunities that you thought you needed? Make the opportunities. Go out and co-create those opportunities. Again, our higher selves are elated. We're here. Let's start enjoying the process, even if it isn't that fun. Let's enjoy the fact that we're clearing it, and we're more than willing to do it. That we were willing to do it. That we made the choice for everything that's taking place in our environment and in ourselves. We came in to change it.
I think that's especially poignant considering Pluto's in Capricorn. And
Absolutely.
I mean, this is the exact same energy that happened right before the American and French revolutions. And
yes, and it shouldn't have been a revolution, you guys. Let's evolve, not revolve. No more revolutions. Violence does not serve the purpose. It just justifies incarnating again and going out and killing your enemy yet again. That is not the solution. The solution is to find common ground, to find peaceful solutions, and to work together as a whole for the benefit, again, for the individual within that whole.
There's people that just love being soldiers. That's what their whole life is all about. That's what their whole incarnation, that's what their whole being is. That's what they know from every past life they've lived.
And
it's hard to get out of that mindset.
Oh, it absolutely is, and it's hard to fit back into society once you've been in battle.
Well, yeah, that's obvious.
So that's why we need to do a better job of taking care of those in the military, where we need to train them not only for their military duties, but to give them more civilian applications from those duties, to put them to work when they get home from those situations so that they don't feel useless, and let them use that warlike energy for not necessarily killing, but to make the change that needs to be made. We need that type of energy to take action. We need to, yes, we did Come on, the universe is a destructive and a creator. It's a destructive force as well as a creative force. So we've got to destroy that which no longer works in order to create that which will work. When it outlives its usefulness, that's time to destroy it and come back and co-create what's going to work this time around. Do you understand that?
And that destruction's happening inside.
Yes, the destruction's happening to all of us globally right now. Those old ways are getting challenged and torn down. That's the destructive part of the universe. And without destruction, we cannot have co-creation. That's...
And rebirth.
Yes, you have to have rebirth. You have to have birth, death, rebirth. And you have to let the old way die with dignity, not malice. Not, you know...
The violence and killing.
The violence and the killing is going to only breed more violence and more killing. We have to start finding peaceful solutions to the conflicts. We have to mitigate, all the hatred we have between all of the religions on the planet. Come on, you guys. No religion really does promote war, even though you can say it does. You can go in there and read right here, it says it does. No, that was in that time frame. And again, they were mistaken. You don't need to go charging into any other territory to take it over. No, you can have peaceful negotiation to share. But who wants to share, right? I'm not sharing anything. It's all mine. And that's what get challenges. Challenge what you're not unwilling to share. Challenge that within yourself. Recognize where you are selfish. And shift that energy to self-full rather than selfish.
That's awesome, self-full.
Yes, self-full. We all have the right to be content and whole. We all need our needs met. We need the physical needs met, the sexual needs met, the emotional needs met, the spiritual, mental. All of those need to be in harmony and balance. When our schools are failing, then we're failing ourselves, really. Because we're going to be reborn, whether you believe it or not. You're going to be reborn. And if you have not laid the foundation for the next 7 generations, the next time you come in, you're going to come into a disaster. And you're going to have to start all over again, and all because you didn't want to share. Darn it.
It's amazing. I really do love this square. It feels really crazy and all the emotions and energies, but it's so worth it too because and I watched a documentary today that really sums up my feeling of where everyone is right now and where we're going. Is we're finally getting to a global consciousness where we realize that we are this tiny bit of this entire Earth, let alone our solar system, which is just insanely beyond our comprehension of how large, and beyond, and we're just expanding our consciousness.
Yes, absolutely.
We're seeing I should share because I'm just one part of everything, and I need to help others just as I needed to be helped. And
yes, we cannot survive without one another. We cannot survive alone on this planet. It's not designed that way. We are not designed to be alone, not that I have any problems with anybody who likes to be alone. I'm just telling you that too much time alone, you lose your mind. Too much time together, you lose your mind. You need the perfect balance between the two. And I believe we can achieve it. I am the eternal optimist, even though I can be pessimistic at times, that I believe human beings are extremely intelligent. I believe in their spirit, and I believe we can find our solutions without violence and without harming anyone or the environment we're in. That's another thing. We really have to start cleaning up the environment, you guys. Or there won't be an environment for us to come back to, or we'll have to come back as primitive. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to I don't want to come back to a primitive society. No, you can't grow spiritually. You can't. You're too busy taking care of the needs of the physical to even get to the emotional and the mental. It's a day-to-day survival, and you cannot grow beyond that until it's just going to be the whole process again. Come on, let's not go back to. Come on, let's grow now. Let's not go back to primitive man. Although I think a lot of the doomsdayers would like that. No offense to any of you guys, but no. Stop being doomsdayers, but you have the right to do anything you want. But please, stop willing the world to end. It's not going to end. And you really don't want to go back to primitive society, trust me. But it is good to learn how to grow food. It is good to learn how to these things. These things are all good things to learn. Self-sufficiency, good thing to learn.
You can just do it without the fear.
Yes, no fear. Don't have fear of it's all coming to an end and I have to prepare for this. How about just prepare for this and share it with others so that we can all learn and grow from it? Again, I don't want to diss anybody because I'm really, I like all paths. I think they're all very viable and useful when we can find ways to work together within each individual's path. And not automatically because it's different, shun it.
Okay, so let's see. I think we have maybe another 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes.
I just have one last question, kind of to elaborate on your question of just politically and economically, where do you see this going? With more humans and technological advances, do we all need to even be working all the time, or I don't know, like where do you see it? It's such an interesting socioeconomic climate that we're in.
Well, yes, we have to balance work and play, Will. That's something that we've gotten away from. We keep extending the hours in the day because of the fear of not having enough, especially through the economic climate that we have right now and have had since 2008. It has been a very difficult time economically. Okay, so we need to start putting our attention to finding a sustainable economy because the economies we have right now are not sustainable. So we need to redirect our energies into sustainable economies to where it will continue. And yes, we need to work toward that, but we need to also leave enough time to be creative and to have fun so that we don't get all consumed by that and miss the big picture because we're too busy looking at the little ones. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But, as you were saying, we were behind, and I know that, you were talking about something different, but, we're way behind on our infrastructure in this country. When you look at other countries around the world, we're just way behind.
Oh,
it's like Amtrak is like the old
stagecoach.
It's like the old stagecoach when you compare it to the 400-mile-an-hour trains that they have.
Yes.
There's just everything else, the bridges and roads and
our water
schools.
treatment plants.
Schools are real bad.
And schools.
Water is an issue. It's been an issue, and it's going to continue to be an issue, and it's going to get worse and worse.
Unless we do something about it now.
Right.
Unless we choose to change our minds now and start diligently working toward those things globally, locally as well as globally, then yes, we are going to be in
And with
big
simple
trouble.
changes to
There's
building
going to be a lot of
codes,
loss.
you can make each individual dwelling or business self-sustaining, or at least contributing to the production of electricity and heat and those things.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we gotta let go of our fossil fuels, guys. As much as we love them, we have to let them go. They're running out. There aren't any more dinosaurs to kill off.
That's fear too. We just don't want them coming back.
That's right. Oh my God, if they come back. Yes.
They're working on bringing back a mammoth.
Oh, here we go. Jurassic Park.
So a guy in Korea is looking for viable DNA, frozen DNA, and he's coming close to getting it.
You'll probably find it. That's right. Come on, you look hard enough, you'll find it.
They're finding
Hey,
it.
but that's a good lesson. Look hard enough, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Without blinders. Don't get too focused on it because fixation can kill you. But if you definitely are diligent and look hard enough, you can find anything. You can find your solutions.
Beautiful. That sums it all up so nicely.
All right.
Thank you guys. This has been
Yes.
awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
Yes. I hope you join us for more videos.
We'll see.
See you.